Hello everyone, welcome inside the ESPN studios here on the campus of Stephen F. Austin State University. I'm Corbin Payton. We're pleased to be joined today by Lady Jack soccer head coach and three-time Southland Conference Coach of the Year, Wally Crittenden. Wally, we know that it all comes down to recruiting. You just finished up your latest class. Kind of take us through the last few months that you and your coaching staff have been preparing for and all the way up leading to signing day.
Sure, thanks Corbin. I tell you, it's an exciting day every year. We get to our NLI signing period, and as coaches we get excited. Our returning players are curious and excited about the players coming into the program, and it's a life benchmark for a lot of our players who end up signing with us. And as we look at our program needs and as we forecast out 2 and 3 years about what we anticipate will be graduating and what we anticipate we will need to help not only recover and recoup some of those maybe points or minutes that we graduate in a given year, but also to supersede those standards. And that brought us to this class that we have here, which is a very talented class. It's a class that, from an offensive output standpoint, I think we have anywhere between 75 and 100 goals scored just in the first half of the year between club and high school so far. And by the way, that's with 3 defenders out of a 7-person class. So amongst 4 attacking front half players that we anticipate will be featured there, we have a lot of goals. We have a lot of creative instincts. We have an extremely athletic group and a very high soccer IQ in this group. And that's important because last year we had a very talented team, very good team, great senior class, and ended up graduating approximately 20% of our attacking output. So when you look at what we've brought in and what our priorities have been in the front half of the field, along with the fact that we're returning close to 80% of our overall offense from this past season, our goal is not just to fill in what we lost, but it's to be goal-scoring machine. It's to have exciting play. It's about having exciting players in positions to score a lot of goals, while at the same time bringing in players that will help us improve defensively and in our back half presence. And so we have several players that will come in and contribute, including a goalkeeper that will be in a position to compete in that unit group. So we're very excited about this class. We're very excited about the overall ideas and outlook that this class could have from an impact standpoint on our program and our staff. I got to make sure that I recognize our staff. They did a tremendous job. A lot of time on the road, these in-home visits, we love them. It's one of the most special times of the year, but it absolutely is a grind, and it's something that we're excited about sharing with our players. And so our staff did a great job. The families we're bringing in, really excited to work with them.
This past season, you always mentioned that this was the first time you've ever been with a class from freshman year to senior year. I know that was very special to you. So take us through how you replaced that group, and who do you replace that group with? Take us through that recruiting class for this year.
Yeah, no, it was a special season, and in the different places that I've been fortunate to be at, yeah, it was the first time I had been able to see a class from start to finish, and that's very special, and it's something I look forward to continuing as we move forward. And it's important that when you replace players that have earned quite a few minutes, major minutes type players, have offensive statistic output, defensively are anchors and mainstays in how you play, and then you have a goalkeeper who graduated as well. You want to make sure that the competitive character of the players that you evaluate and you welcome into your program, you want to make sure that from a talent standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, these are players that not only will compete, they're going to help you beat teams that you want to beat. They're going to help you compete and beat teams that hopefully will be playing in the NCAAs. And that's where our frame of reference is. That's where our focus is. And, I'll tell you that each of these players in this class this year, they could have gone other places. They're talented enough. They're good people. They're high competitive character people. But at the end of the day, when they look at our program, they look at our quality of life here at our university in our city, and they look at the support structure, of which one of the reasons I was excited to get the invite to meet here in your ESPN studios is so that all of our fans and incoming players and future prospects can see what a great facility that we have and the type of structure and support structure we have for our players in our program. And so when you put all those pieces together, along with a very talented staff, great coaches, great people, it's an overall environment that will help generate and have players have the best possible chance to reach peak performance. And that's what we're about. And so when we brought this class in, and we'll go through each player in each position here, you know, first and foremost they're good people, but then right there with it, they're going to compete right away. And I said this in our release that I think that our preseason camp this fall could very well be the most intense preseason camp we've had since I've been here. And we've had some good teams. And so it's exciting, you know, the future and the opportunities are exciting. But starting with the front half of the field, and we'll kind of work our way back, we have our first player is Sophie Fondren. She's from FC Dallas ECNL program. She's a player who is very gifted, very high soccer IQ. Technical speed is extremely high. Tactical speed, she can change the game with where she's being featured with or without the ball. But I will also tell you that along with her attacking instinct, she's a tremendous defender. And you know, we expect her to be featured in the middle of the field, kind of either between that holding center mid position or an attacking center mid position. And depending on how we play, we'll absolutely look for her to compete and try to utilize her strengths both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And then we have Kat Schaffner, kind of going back to our back line. She's someone who we're bringing in to be featured in the center back pool position. She comes out of Challenge ECNL program. Very tall, very athletic, great composure. Is someone who, from her position play, is very tough to beat because she has that recovery speed, but she's also in good positions. Someone who, as a center back, will kind of communicate an overall sense of composure on the ball, and that's really, really important as we organize through the back. We have another Challenge ECNL player in Sabrina Segovia. Sabrina Segovia is a very dynamic dribbler, great 1v1 attacker, someone who will likely be featured in the flank wide attacking player group, someone who we get excited about the idea of her going at players 1v1, beating players on the flank, putting serves in, getting on the opportunities of opposite side serves that come into her. So she's going to be in goal scoring positions, there's no doubt. Very tough to play against, which is a quality that we really want on the flank. A lot of times when you're on the flank, you're on an island. It's 1 versus 1, maybe you have one covering defender you've got to beat, but the tougher our players can be on flank attacking, the tougher it's going to be on the other team, and so that's exciting. But she's a very talented player that we're excited to see get on the field and bring a different energy, just a different way of doing things out to that flank. We have a goalkeeper. This is the first goalkeeper we brought in maybe in 2 years. And so our goalkeeping unit has been very, very good over the last 4 years. It's been a strong point of our team. And we expect no different with Maddie Talbot, who's coming in from Shreveport United. She's a goalkeeper who has been playing at a very high level. She's been on the region team. She's traveled abroad on the region team. So she's been playing very high level minutes in great intense environments. And is someone who I think right away will come in and compete just as every other player has, and you know, look to strengthen an already really, really good goalkeeping unit. Specifically from an asset standpoint, she's very good on crosses. She has a very heavy strike, so she can break defenses or break attacking presses when we need to clear space and kind of extend the field. And there's other kind of strategic goals with having the ability to have really good range when you kick a ball, both from her hand and from the ground, and say a goal kick or a dead ball. So really excited, very, very tough breakaways, good shot stopper, just an all-around very high competitive character. So again, you know, she'll be in that pool competing. Lauren Prentice is a player that we have probably 2 different position groups that we will feature her in. She's from the Sting ECNL club, plays at a very high level, very good club. She'll either be featured as a left back, right back, or center back. Anywhere along the back line, she'll be looking to get time to compete and make her mark in those position groups. And so Lauren's skill set, very athletic, very tough, very disciplined defender, but she's great in the attack. She loves to create, loves to roam up and down the flank, If she's featured in a center back type position, she can take space in front of her. Really high soccer IQ, and just loves the game. You know, we went to her in-home visit week or so ago, and you know, she's got the game on the TV. You know, and so it was great to, as a family and as a coaching staff, to sit down and enjoy that time, just with someone who is ready to go and really enjoys the game. Then we have Caitlin Termini. Caitlin Termini is from the Solar Chelsea ECNL club. She's someone who we'll see most likely in an attacking center mid position, potentially a forward, kind of roaming forward position as well. Extremely high skill set, very high technical speed, really high soccer IQ, and is a player that when she's on the ball, you know something special is about to happen. What? You're not entirely sure, because it's choices made in the flow of the game that I can tell you that if she's unpredictable and if it's tough for me to know what choice she's going to make as her coach, I can't wait for the opposition to try to figure it out. But I will tell you this, whatever choice she does make, it's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very dynamic. And I think that attacking center mid pool of players that we have is very strong and is very deep, and they each bring a little different take to their position group. And so I'm really excited to see how Caitlin settles in and see what impact she can make. And then our last player we'll talk about here is Destiny Davis, and she's a player that comes out of the LONESTAR Soccer Club from San Antonio. Another attacking center mid, winger, forward type position, definitely in the front half of the field. Extremely athletic, very quick. One of the things that really stuck out to us about Destiny is she doesn't lose the ball. And all the ideas she has, she loves to collaborate, she loves to include her teammates. She moves the ball extremely well, and she does that without giving it away. And then whenever there is a loss of possession, with the high athleticism she has, the high top-end speed that she has, she can recover, get back behind the ball, win the ball back, and help us build again out of the back. And so, you know, when you look at these positions and these players that we've brought in, you know, overall athleticism of our team continues to increase. Overall soccer IQ of our team continues to increase, and the ability to score goals. Again, out of a 7-player class, 4 of them are front half players, and those 4 players have accounted for, you know, close to 100 goals just in this year alone. You know, we've got players that are going to be really exciting to watch, and I will tell you, what's going to be great is the training environment. Our returning players, we've got some great returning players. We've got a great team coming back that's ready to welcome in this group, because the competitive dynamic that is going to result is going to be something that will make us all better and again move us towards our goal, which is to continue to compete for championships every year. And last year we competed for 2. We didn't win one, but we competed for 2. We want to make sure that we compete for 2 championships every year, and we want to start winning both. And so I think that with the players coming in, with the players returning, the overall philosophy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, I think something that we talk about a lot around here is that, not that winning is easy, but what's harder than winning is to sustain it. And it's fascinating what you've been able to do as you lose a class and you begin to lose some of the most iconic players in this program's history, and you think, well, SFA is going to have a down year next year, but you continue to build in this class. Usually they all have impacts right away. Do you kind of see that with this class as well, to where you lose some iconic pieces from this class a year ago, but as you've done every year, you build it back up, and do you see this class having a big impact you know, on this team next year?
Well, I think the potential to have a big impact is there. I think you've got great players with high competitive character coming in, and then you've got great returners with high experience coming back. And so the idea of blending that together, and you know, any season, every team is going to have its own path to whatever the final goal is.
Right.
Now, ultimately, our goal is to win a championship. Some years we win that, some years we don't. We've been fortunate and prepared enough and skilled enough to compete for a championship every single year since we've been here. And that's a trend that we want to continue. And at the end of the day, we'll win some, we'll lose some. But from a perspective standpoint, the opportunity for these players to make a big impact is there. And I'll tell you this, we're a little different, and this is part of our recruiting. And you hear a lot of coaches talk about upperclassmen leadership. You hear a lot of coaches talk about senior leadership, and that's very important. There's no doubt. We want our seniors to be great leaders. We want our juniors to be great leaders. But I'll tell you this: I want our sophomore and our freshman leaders. That's who I want to step in and be great leaders as well. Because at the end of the day, if you have leadership that is facilitated, that grows, that develops, that is nurtured across all 4 of your divisions, your classes, you got a chance to be special. It's not appropriate to just expect upperclassmen leadership, to just expect senior leadership, and then when things don't go well or there's challenges or adversity, say, hey, that's the leadership that, no. We bring great players in and we develop them as leaders and as young people, primarily because we're that gateway to the next step. And so from a leadership standpoint, I expect our incoming players to be great leaders and to learn and grow. Do they need to come in and have focused on being a team captain on day one? No. What I want them to do, I want all of our incoming players to come in with the mindset that they're going to win the starting job. And whether they do or not, we'll see on the field.
Sure.
But I want our returners to come back with the mentality that they're going to win the starting job. And whether they do or not, we'll see on the field. But I think that there are coaches that stifle that development, especially in your young players, because you have that statement and expectation of upperclassmen leadership. I want all of our young people to be leaders, because there will be days when everyone is up. There will be days when players are down and you need other people to step in. And so that's exciting. And no doubt this class will have that impact. And I'm excited to see what our returners do as we continue to move forward with this program. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Lastly, just for the fans, take us through what you kind of the off season. A lot of times people see you in season,
Sure.
But you guys have a great spring off season plan every year. Take us through that and kind of what leads up to the season that they can kind of have some opportunities to see you guys here in the spring.
Yeah, no, we this spring for us, we push hard. We're in the weight room just as a lot of programs are. We began to look ahead to how we want to play in the fall. And some programs take different approaches with that. For me, we're going to begin to install different aspects of what we hope will fit the team that we have this fall. I will tell you that since we've been here, we've played 4, 5, 6 different shapes. We have a primary shape and a secondary shape, and each of those has changed. Maybe not every year, but every couple of years. Why? Because the type of players we have. We are a program that will change to fit the players' skill set that we have to get the most players that are playing the best on the field at the same time. And so we're not real big on shapes. We're just going to create matchups. And in order to play that way, in order to teach that way, in order to coach that way, you got to install that in the spring so that you're not doing a complete overhaul in your 10, 12-day preseason. And so that's going to be a big priority for us, is we're going to identify and continue to move forward with how we're going to play in the fall. From a fitness standpoint, from a soccer standpoint, it's great. We'll play several games. We'll get out there. We'll wrap up the spring with our alumni game, which is our official visit weekend, which will be exciting. And then we'll head into our summer workout packet, and then we'll be ready to go. So
Close by, an exciting signing class for head coach Wally Crittenden in 2017. I'm sure 2018, 2019 is already being worked on by the coaching staff.
always.
Be sure to check us out, Facebook and Twitter, SFA Soccer and SFA Athletics. You can keep up with everything that's going on, all those dates that Coach Crittenden mentioned, and we'll keep you up to date as well. So, Coach, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up with everyone soon.
Axum Jacks.